Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining my session today. First of all, I would like to say thanks to be here today. And this is our very own model. We designed this thinking about our business case. I would like to ask you to be more disruptive as possible when thinking about how we approached this model, because actually it was very structured and we tried really to think out of the box. Because of this actual topic, which is very structured and very timely fashion, let's say, because we are just seeing from the output from the working group on this domain since few days, which is led by Dean. And what I would like to say is that the presentation is structured actually in 5 main phases. The first one, I will start to introduce the company I work for. Then we will see the challenges and how our FinOps model has addressed these challenges to be overcome. Then we will reach the power of the project, so the core, how we developed, how we decided to put our strategy, the target we achieved, and what we look forward to do in the next future. So with this in mind, I would like also to say that focus for us has played a very crucial role, a very pivotal role, enhancing the capabilities to play like the English language is a common language which helps people coming from different countries to talk each other and enhance the efficiency, and also to help to make this message pass through different stakeholders. With this in mind, I will start to introduce a bit about Max Mara. Max Mara Fashion Group is an Italian fashion retail omni-channel company which has been founded in 1951. With 11 brands sold, operates across more than 12,000 stores around the world in many countries. And I personally joined Max Mara Fashion Group at the end of 2023, so in December. When I joined, just right from the beginning, with my first interview, it was like we will start to talk about immediately to the FinOps journey and the strategy that was in place, how we can rework this strategy to make more efficient, more, let's say, accurate in terms of accuracy, and more oriented to the business need of the company itself. So I quickly realized also there was a very structured multi-cloud, and also the data center in place was running critical business workloads as well. So I understood the FinOps can address both challenges, but also can give an added value. And so I started to think about how we can get a very comprehensive situation where we can really give meaningful information to our stakeholders. So how many of you, my question is, are familiar with hybrid environments and are running maybe multi-clouds environments like this one, for example? You can see. Okay, lots of people, cool. So we need really to achieve a centralized visibility across all these providers. And how we made it? We made it actually with 2 main points. The first one is the cost allocation, the power of the cost allocation. We stretched our cost allocation across every provider. And the other point is leveraging focus. So this both together has helped us to deploy, to take a full comparison, to take a full model comprehension, let's say. So with all this data together, gathering also unit metrics related to the business point of view inside our data lake of FinOps information to realize a better understanding of how unit economics can evolve during the lifetime of the company. So this is a very complex scenario, you know, and maybe some of you are asking a lot of things, but we will go deeper into the presentation. Then I will show you what has been the outcome. So I was at the FinOps X during the last FinOps X in Barcelona with my colleague Antonio. I was saying, looking at focus, we need to shift this model to another level, and we need to take additional metrics inside. So we started to enhance this model, and we need to to get through this very structured approach, which is actually divided in 5 main phases also. So the first one, we started to understood the analysis phases, starting from right from the beginning, rather from the start, to put in place a very structured approach to understand the needs and identify also the intersection to understand the boundaries of different scopes, always in terms of business. Then we moved to the stabilization phase. So we started to think how to define a very robust data structure which needs to be resilient by design. So also the efficiency to provision, also the provision workloads during the lifetime of the company. And so we moved at the end to the remediation phase. So we started to think how we can put in place an automation to understand what's the compliance of the data in place. So identifying compliance resources against non-compliance resources. And with this, giving this information to the automation of remediation phase. So the remediation to start fixing what is not compliant actually in our environment. Then we reached also the data ingestion standardization. So we need to standardize also the logic and how we can be resilient also in adding data sources or maybe the provisioning data sources. At the end of this journey, we started to, once we built it, we started to communicate and to stream this information to every stakeholders within the company. Now you can see on this table, there is something that is popping up like this. This is the way how we started to structure our logic, but I will talk more later. We will go, let's say, we will deep dive more on the next slides. Yeah, this is our very key pillar of our strategy is the cost allocation. How we can bridge the cost allocation, a model of the cloud with the data center, which is actually stretched, and why to extend to different resources, because our application stacks relies on cross environments. So maybe we can identify some application flows, some application perimeters which are actually hosted in different providers. So we need to have a full picture to understand this cost as base of reasoning. And these hybrid environments are still the norm also for us, even if you are trying to get rid of it somehow. And also because we took also the data center in consideration because we need a bigger picture for the unit metric comparison to find a more comprehensive unit economics estimation. So with this in mind, now we have a very end-to-end visibility across all of these providers. And with those, let's say, with this enhanced model, we pushed all the governance part to every stakeholders. And we are now showing more and more how let's go deep bit into the let's say the method that we use to get this data inside the specification. Okay, first of all, we switched from a capex heavy model, which is relying on a very static, let's say, like an all upfront infrastructural investment, which you expect to have a ROI, which is a return on investment. And we moved this kind of information to an OPEX model, so an OPEX agility dynamic model. So you should expect an efficiency on these models. Then, with this hourly tracking of cost, we decided also to fix our assumption to virtual machine level inside our data center. We defined our unit cost catalog, which is hardware-based, and we identified the single cost of each component, of unit component, hourly. This has helped us to start tracking directly into our hypervisors the usage consumption of each component and estimating, and with the usage of the cost allocation, streaming this cost also to other environments. Our Bellini generator has been designed to scale up or to scale down, but also to horizontally to parallel processing, which may lead also to identify possible overlaps in terms of if you are using different data centers, maybe. And we started just from small, so we put it inside our Bellini generator. We just put it few details, like we started defining a bill cost, the bill accuracy, some of this information that has helped us to start understanding how the behavior of the most comprehensive solution was acting altogether. Now I will go more deeply inside the architecture itself. So the architectural part is done in this way. Okay, we are checking data hourly. We have several providers, so we have our billing generator, which is working closely with our asset management, or you can call it CMDB, or DCIM, it's a data center infrastructure management system. It's tracking the cost of each data center, connecting on a hypervisor, and estimating first the status of the virtual machine, if it's powered on or if it's powered off. This is tracking the usage of the virtual machine within the data center, but is also tracking the unused part, because we are paying also for what is not allocated, actually. With all this data together, with an hourly tracking, with the cost allocation stretching, linked with our focus specification with other cloud providers, we defined our framework, which is a very foundation for our unit metric comparison. So, stating with these things we measure or things we improve, which is a very common strategic few words that use also our CIO, we started to think which kind of useful unit metrics we can put in comparison to our data, to better understand also what could be very useful for the business itself at the end of this journey. So, as the natural also infrastructure structure, let's say, of the system itself, we were really also ready to start the estimation of B2C order and quantify the cost also related to business to consumer order of our business, of our e-commerce platforms divided by brand. So we started to put this information inside, and we started also with B2B estimation. The business to business has helped us to forecast the material needs in terms of for different business scenarios, let's see, because it's a more a matter of material forecasting. So linking all of this information all together has led us to have the unit cost per order, which is very interesting for us, divided by brand. And this is very important also to take actually this information and give back to our business, to telling them actually where we are acting and how we can protect our margin, because we are really estimating what is the actual cost of our infrastructure for the entire stack. So with this in mind, we also started to understand, okay, now we have unit economics, how we can reinject this data to the correct business competence center, let's say. Like we have several different domains working on this. So the first point of entry for us was to start exactly with the business competence center and giving them back this information so they can quickly understand how it is also behaving with additional metrics. Like, for example, what is not comparable for us is also related on marketing strategies, or maybe with seasonal sellings, or maybe some specific selling campaigns per brand. With this, we can track the behavior of the cost and understand also the profitability and what's the efficiency of our infrastructure. So, as a key milestone, let me say, at Max Mara, we finally achieved a very comprehensive solution, which is a decentralizing of cost data with our full access control and also ownership of our data into our very own data lake of FinOps information. So we eliminated dependency in third-party licensing because we built our own solution. But we really made it very cost efficient also because the overall, let's say, the overall solution, thinking about the BI tooling, the collection part, the compliance part are fully automated, and the comprehensive price is still remarkably low. And we have no also exfiltration fees if we want to reinject this data to an external system, for example. So at the end, we are very happy because we have a scalable, cost-efficient solution. which can evolve also during the lifetime of the company, adding more, for example, comparison or more views. And we are ready also to iterate those data to get additional insight, additional optimization, not only in terms of optimization of the cloud itself, but also of the workload in a more comprehensive way. And the integration also with the BI that we had, it's very easy to use, and we are also open to make additional comparison. We maybe also other metrics, but we will continue to evaluate, because it's let's say this is a very work in progress project. It works with the life of the company over time. We have to add something, or maybe we need to remove something else because of project, because of business decision also itself. So I'm really happy to say that we reached the agility in FinOps with this modular extension. So what we want to look forward to for tomorrow, for sure, one of the most important things is to improve our forecasting capabilities, and also to protect always with this full-minded, let's say, point of view, to look at margins, because we need to protect them. We will extend our allocation to project cost. This is a very brave way, because we would like to extend the tracking of the cost of the project also, which will be a very tough, I think, situation, but we will see. We will add in the scope additional focus providers like Chinese one. I will show in the other picture at the beginning, because of the latest announcement of this morning, for example. And we will also add more unit economics in the picture, more unit metrics, sorry, for additional consideration. But at the end, what we really want to highlight is our capability to remarks and to give to the business itself the data-driven perspective, so they can take decision based on what's the actually behaving of this unit economics. We will add also, maybe also we will add more additional also cost allocations. And what is still for us, let's say, it's still a work in progress, also the FinOps for AI topic, because we want to start with a very strong approach, as we did for the old FinOps journey. So we would like to enhance this part, but before starting, we would like to have a more comprehensive situation of how to approach this point. So I would like to say thanks to a lot of people. But first, I would like to say thanks to JR and to the foundation for taking me on stage today with all of you. And also, I would like to say thanks to Marco, which is over there, which helped me, and we worked together on this structure. And if you wanna connect with me, you can find me on LinkedIn. I think this is the QR of LinkedIn. If you have any question, I will be more than happy to assist you. I think I've been very, very quick with the presentation. Sorry for that. This is my first time anyway in the stage, so I'm feeling also a bit shy. So that's it. This is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, we take a few questions. Here's the catch box.
Do you do data aggregation for your reporting and dashboard?
Sorry, can I understand?
Data aggregation. Or do you use the raw cost data and hourly granularity?
Let's say that we do also data aggregation, okay? But how can I explain this? It's a bit complicated to explain. Yeah, we aggregate data, but mostly we try always to fix the data perspective. So for us, it's always related to the business. This is the most important part for us. So, for example, for unit metrics, you mean, maybe? Also, for unit metric comparison, for us, it's always very important to estimate what has been confirmed, actually. So, when we aggregate data, we also do in a very consolidated way. I don't know if I answered to your question, Eric, but maybe it's not that kind. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm getting better and better.
Great presentation, by the way. For the billing generator, can you deep dive a little bit more on it? Yeah, is it running every day in a like a Databricks type of notebook type of thing, or just curious about the billing generator. Thank you.
Okay. Our data generator is connecting on the hypervisor, as I was saying, to get the list of virtual machines, because we are making as assumption virtual machine, and this is the behavior is to estimate the usage of CPU, RAM, disk, and also the network part. Okay, that we splitted. So there is the allocation also of this part. And what we did is to define the unit cost of the hardware. Okay, so we are estimating the usage based on the unit cost of the hardware, and we are reporting it hourly inside our data lake. That's it. This is how it works.
So how long was your journey, and were there significant milestones along the way? So I'm sure there's a 1 to 2 year, 2 to 3, ...
Yeah. Okay. As I told at the beginning of the presentation, I joined Max Mara in December 23, and we started our FinOps journey in July 2024, so less than a year, let's say, because we reached the output of the project around in April this year. That's it.
How did you standardize on-premises data for focus format?
Yeah, sorry for that, because I went too quickly on this. I know. Yeah, sorry guys, and so that's my fault. But I was showing some. I can go back. Actually, I can show you. It's not here. Sorry. Yeah, this is very important. Why? Why? Because when we define our unit cost catalog, we need to define the amortization period for the competence of the data center. For example, if you make the assumption, our assumption is to amortize the data center in 5, maybe 6, or maybe 7 years. Okay. Basically, with this base, we are able to revert the process and find the unit cost. Okay. This is the answer that you want. But this another big point that is in the picture itself is also whenever you need to parallel process those information. So let's say, for example, you are renewing your data center. So you need to build another data center just next to your old one, and you start to migrate things from the one to the other. Okay. So this is the first on the upper side situation, where you have overlaps of cost. So you have one cost overlapping with the other. So you are taking the cost from one side, moving this workload to the other data center. You still increase the unused cost on this source data center, but you are decreasing the unused cost on the other. I don't know if you get the point. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
One question more.
Thanks, Alessandro. That was insightful here. Thank you. When you talk about the cost of the hardware, you were talking about amortization of the hardware.
Yeah.
But what are you exactly including there? I mean, it's just the hardware, the data center itself, electricity cost, operation.
Yeah.
What are you including there?
Let me say, on my side, what we do is to estimate the cost of the data center itself, but this is often on our very own on-premise facilities. So this is not a managed data center. There is no sharing of local facilities like cooling system or stuff like that. So we are able to estimate this part, because I don't know if you are familiar with this kind of solution, which are very, very common, I think. You can also estimate the power consumption cost as well. But also the big point is also, let me say, also related to the network part, because whenever you need to identify the session and the cost allocation to link all of the session to estimate the network usage, this is another big point. I was discussing previously with one of the people among you.
Thank you.
It.
Cool. Another question here. There you go.
Can you talk a little bit more about the ingestion process?
Sorry, I don't hear you. What is?
I'm right here.
Okay, see, yes.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about kind of how you design the data lake and ingesting all of that focus data into the data lake, and just give us a bit more detail on that
Very
process.
good question. Very good question. Thanks for asking. Okay, as I was showing previously, I think in this one, the billing generator is acting directly with our asset management system, or you can call it, as I was saying before, CMDB or DCIM, to stretch actually our policy of cost allocation strategy. So it's taking and estimating the cost from the hypervisor itself, is merging the data from the asset management system for the cost allocation part, and then it's sending the data directly in S3 because we are using S3 to store our data. That's it.
Hi. I wanted to ask for your reporting, have you structured it in a way that suits different personas? Like an engineer might be.
We are leveraging our BI tool to do that because whenever we need to send the specific reports, we ask for generating directly to our BI tool. Yes?
My turn?
Yeah.
Hi there. Did your organization favor one of the cloud providers?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Does your organization favor one of the cloud providers more? And based on that, did you guys favor reckoning one of them towards the focus database more?
Let's say this is more, if I correctly understood your question, first of all, this is one of the main assumptions that you can make is also to estimate the difference between providers. So what you can estimate is also you need to take care about also something which is really hidden for me, like understanding also the tangible or intangible benefit of cloud adoption itself. So maybe because you increase the agility in the cloud because you need maybe more agility for your business, so you need to scale up quickly or maybe scale down in the same way. But definitely what we do is to give in this unit economics to the business to give their data-driven perspective so they can tell us what they want to do. That's it.
Thanks. Just wanted to ask, how does, to who the report that Maxmata created goes to, and how does the chargeback practically is being done? I understand that data center cost is usually being capitalized. And from accounting perspective, it's being amortized on a monthly basis, right?
Yeah. This is, as I was telling at the beginning of this presentation, I told you to disrupt this situation, to understand what we want to do. Especially in this scenario, let me say, this is not very for the accountancy point of view, but it's more for very own FinOps point of view. So whenever we need to elaborate this data to create our chargeback model or maybe the showback, you can do it basically on a different layer of the accountancy. So you can keep it, I think, like in parallel. That's it.
Hey everyone, producer Andrew here. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. For more FinOps X 2025 content, go check out our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and leave comments and questions for all of our wonderful speakers. We appreciate your support.